When we get to pre-algebra, we become interested in classifying numbers based on their different properties. So for example, we have whole numbers. These are numbers like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and so forth. We have real numbers, decimals, right? So these are numbers like 0.25, 0.008, so forth. Integers, these are positive and negative whole numbers, so we can think of -4, -3, -2, -1, 0, 1, so forth and so on. And we have a few tools that we can use to do that. One of those tools that we get into in pre-algebra is understanding the differences between a number's factors and multiples. So that's what I'm going to talk about now. The multiples and factors of a number. So for example, let's deal with first multiples. If we have a number, say the number 2, the multiples of 2 are basically starting from 2 multiplying by integers. So 2 times 1 is 2. 2 times 2 is 2. 2 times 2 is 4. 2 times 3 is 6. 2 times 4 is 8. So basically we're counting by 2's. Right? So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, so on and so forth. These are the multiples of 2. If I want the multiples of 3, the multiples of 3, again, are counting by 3. So this is 3, starting with 3, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, so forth. The multiples of 4 are 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, and so on. These are the multiples. The multiples of a number are infinite. The multiples of a number are infinite. They go on forever and they never stop because you can always multiply by a larger and larger and larger number. These are the multiples. So every number has multiples. Every integer has multiples. Every number has multiples. We also have factors. The factors are not infinite. They are finite. So every number also has factors. The factors of a number are other integers that we can use to multiply to get that number. So for example, the factors of 2 are 1 and 2. Now why is that? Because the only two numbers that you can multiply together to get 2 are 1 and 2. All right, so the factors of 2 are 1 and 2. The factors of 3 are 1 and 3. All right, because the only two numbers that you can, the only two whole numbers that you can multiply together to get 3 are 1 and 3. The factors of 4 are, we can say 1 times 4 will give us 4, but we can also say 2 times 2 will give us 4. So the factors of 4 are 1, 2, and 4. Factors of 3 are 1 and 3. The factors of 2 are 1 and 2. The factors of 5, well, there's only two numbers that will give us 5, multiply to give us 5. That's 1 times 5. So the factors of 5 are 1 and 5. The factors of 6, we can use 1 times 6 to get 6, or we can use 2 times 3 to get 6. So the factors of 6 are 1, 2, and 6. Okay, so we'll notice that there are certain numbers that only have two factors, 1 and the number itself. So 2 is an example of that, 3 is an example of that, 5 is an example of that. These are what we call prime numbers, all right? A prime number is a number that only has two factors. And those two factors will be 1 and the number itself. All right, these are prime numbers. They only have two factors. All the other numbers, 4, 6, and so on and so forth, 9, 8, and so forth, 10, those are called composite numbers. Composite numbers. And these are numbers that are not prime, basically. These are numbers that have more than two factors. All right? So factors and multiples. So multiples are infinite, they go on forever, and they get larger and larger. Factors are only as large as the number itself. So they're not going to be any factors of any number that are larger than the number itself. So the largest factor of 4 is going to be 4. The largest factor of 5 is going to be 5. Notice that 1 is a factor of every number, right? So 1 is always going to be included in that. And again, the factors are finite versus multiples are infinite. They go on forever. So that's what the 3 dots here. It means that this goes on forever. The factors, there are only a limited number of them. So these are 2 tools that we can use to categorize numbers, and we'll use that in our working with fractions.